Speaking of wrestling, y'all know who Marty Jannetty is?
No,
I've heard of him.
Marty Jannetty, a former WWE superstar. He was once upon a time tag team champion with Shawn Michaels as part of a late 80s, early 90s powerhouse tag team called the Rockers.
Okay.
Shawn Michaels, of course, went on to have a Hall of Fame storied WWE career.
the Heartbreak Kid.
A Heartbreak Kid. Marty Jannetty, Shawn Michaels famously threw him through the barbershop window, and then shortly thereafter, WWE fired him, and he's pretty much been on the skids ever since. It's a pretty sad story, because Marty Jannetty is not a bad wrestler. If you watch his old matches, man, he's pretty good. He just ain't Shawn Michaels. That's the sad part. It's like he's in this tag team with one of the greatest.
Salieri Mozart situation.
Totally, right? So, more recently, the erstwhile WWE megastar has been making waves on social media through his bizarre and often rambling and discombobulated posts. For instance, this is Marty Jannetty, who, by the way, is from Columbus, Georgia originally, and now resides somewhere in the woods in Alabama. This is from Easter Sunday, 2019. Of all the things I've ever done in my life, it's been a whole lot. Some of the shit doesn't even matter if you don't believe it, but one thing I haven't done, I've never had sex with a blind girl. I loves my blind people. They're more special than us who can see. Just wondering if I could make them smile. They deserve it. To me, they're better than us. So he wants to put a smile on a blind girl's face by having sex with her.
That's such like a caveman way to think.
Yeah, I can make you happy with his dick.
Well,
Just like, how do I make blind people happy? Have sex with them.
Right? That makes everyone happy.
and it's on Easter. That's my favorite part. He's like probably reading like a fucking picture book about Jesus curing the blind and shit. This is another random post for last year. What the hell else am I going to do during the week? Drink, smoke a little plant, possibly throw a little powder up, and then have sex with all the neighbor girls. But it's got to stop. I am not tanning right now. I am not studying film. Hell, I ain't even doing shit but drinking, fucking, and waiting for the weekends.
Studying film.
I think if I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt, I think he means watching like wrestling tape to be a better wrestler, because he does still go out occasionally and wrestle.
Right.
But, when this story that I'm about to read...
He's not like reviewing Trolls World Tours. Whatever.
Maybe. I don't know. That's the other thing. That is entirely likely. I think maybe he means like watching, wrestling,
right,
to get better.
Like football players used to.
Right. Yeah, reviewing tape. Here's another one from last year. Dude, where's my phone? Last I remember having it, it was at my neighbor girl's house up on her roof, because I could get a better view of her neighbor girl who was laying out by her pool naked. But I went back on the roof and it wasn't there.
Sounds like my man's just a laying pipe around his neighborhood, just being a dang old sexual predator.
Well, this is the real famous one before today. This is from 2017. Jannetty claimed that his Facebook was hacked after he posted about how his daughter got a DNA test and wasn't really his daughter, so now he can have sex with her. Quote,
nice.
If you love...
I mean, what else do you say in that situation?
Right? What your hands are tied at that point?
You've been wanting to all your life.
This is a bit of a...
That's the Woody Allen we call it.
That's what I'm saying. Well, I was saying he's the backwoods Woody Allen.
The back Woody Allen.
Yeah. If you loves me as much as I loves you, you will give me your opinion. Just did DNA 2 weeks ago. She's not my daughter. We both held out of sex because you don't that. But now that we ain't, from a guy's side, she's fucking hot. But she's been daughter. I want to, but I can't get past that.
Can I put on my guy hat for a minute?
That's what you say. Yeah.
I just want to make my daughter happy. How do you do that?
With sex.
Well,
it turns out I think this guy is the real Heartbreak Kid.
I mean, it sounds like it.
Wait, does CTE make you horny?
Apparently.
Jesus.
Yeah. Well, what's funny about this is, he said that he got hacked, that it wasn't him, even though it's written exactly how he writes stuff. Right. Well, this morning, Marty Jannetty woke up and decided to confess to a murder. This is from his Facebook.
That happens.
This is from his Facebook. I never told no one this, even my brother Gino, because Gino would have killed him, and I didn't want my brother gone. Hell, he'd only recently come home from the Vietnam. I was 13, working at Victory Lane's bowling alley, buying weed from and then he uses a homophobic slur that worked there, and he put his hands on me. He dragged me around to the back of the building. You already know what he was going to try to do. This was the very first time I made a man disappear. They never found him. They should have looked in the Chattahoochee River. so he's admitted to killing a man, and then just for reference, his kind of on again, off again partner is named Winnie. He says, "But Winnie, I likes you so damn much, probably my favorite. But I promised myself way back then nobody would ever hurt me again, and that includes you. I loved you, but you hurt me with your fucking Jamaican jealousy." You can go your own way. I don't need you. So I guess his kind of
Jamaican person.
Yeah, it's Jamaican, I guess. Winnie and Jannetty were apparently in a relationship, telling another fan they had split up. So somebody posted on his Facebook, "Are you okay?" And he says, "Me and Winnie just had a fallout. But if you're asking about the other thing, yes, that was a billion years ago. Plus, I have the satisfaction of knowing that bitch-ass ninja never got another kid like that." So he's using some juggalo slang there, which is...
I see.
Yeah. By the way, Jannetty is 60 years old, so the alleged incident would have taken place around 1973, and now the Columbus, Georgia Police Department are looking into the issue.
Right, yeah.
Trying to see if they have any old
just
dusty cases from 73.
It sounds kind of unbelievable.
He was 13.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're not going to murder and disappear somebody at 13 and not have anybody catch on.
Yeah. I don't think I could do that now, you know?
No, definitely not you or I.
Come on.
Or maybe Carter.
You think I'm capable of murder?
I just think you're smart enough to get away with it, man.
Thanks, Sam.
I had a follow-up to an earlier story that we covered on here. It was before you moved to Disgraceland, Daniel. So I might have to catch you up on this a little bit.
Okay, good.
I'm very funny.
a bit of a news junkie, so I might know already. I'm not.
Well, so this one,
I don't know how to read.
This is was sent to me actually by our friend at JM Jenks. So shout out to you for sending up this follow-up. This is from Columbus, Georgia. Former WWE star Marty Jannetty now claims that his apparent murder confession that sparked a police investigation in Georgia was all part of a wrestling storyline, insisting he did not kill a man who tried to sexually assault him decades earlier.
I think I vaguely know this story.
So do you know who Marty Jannetty is?
I know he's an old wrestler.
Yeah, so do you know who Shawn Michaels is?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, so Shawn Michaels, WWE Hall of Famer, multi-time champion, huge star, started off his tenure in the WWF as part of a tag team called the Rockers. There's Shawn Michaels and then his tag team partner, Marty Jannetty, and they were like, kind of rock and roll guys, right?
Yeah.
And now in the parlance of wrestling, when a tag team breaks up and someone goes on to be a big star, the person who didn't become a star is referred to as like the Marty Jannetty.
Shit.
It's a thing. Like when a tag team breaks up,
he's doing really well mentally.
Yeah, he's doing real bad. When a tag team breaks up in wrestling, people will go, okay, who's going to be the Shawn? Who's going to be the Marty? Like, whose career is going to go, really well, and who's going to go not so well?
Has there ever been one where they both they both killed it? Like,
there's been a couple like that, but
there's a good storyline for you.
Yeah.
WWE, give me a call.
But Marty is probably the greatest example of like a tag team when they split up. Shawn Michaels is, kind of, I'd say he's in the top 10 of household names of wrestlers.
Yeah, I know who you are, you're a really famous wrestler.
Sure, yeah. But Marty's crazy. He's 60 years old. He is, and he posts on Facebook all the time, and he's out of his goddamn mind. And about a month ago, he apparently confessed to a murder.
Yeah, I think I heard about that. Like, he, in a Facebook post, he was talking about, how some dudes tried to, he said he was going to buy weed from a guy who worked at the bowling alley. Yes.
And he came on to him and he killed him and threw him in the Chattahoochee River.
So it was that guy. Yeah, I heard that story. Sorry, I couldn't remember if it was a wrestler or a politician who said that. That could have been something that Donald Trump said. I don't fucking know.
So Jannetty, 60, wrote Tuesday on Facebook that he, quote, did not murder that man, in all caps, while claiming that his since deleted August 5th post was, quote, merely the beginning of a damn wrestling storyline and not a murder confession.
I think you're past wrestling storylines. I imagine. Is he wrestling now?
Unfortunately, he's one of those guys that still, if you've seen the movie The Wrestler,
yeah,
it's sort of that situation where Marty still goes out, man. He's and we talked about Marty actually on the Patreon this past week with Nick Thomas. We watched WWF Super Tape Volume 2 from 1990. And I've said this before, if you watch The Rockers early on, there is no indication as to which one of them is going to go the furthest, really, because they're both really fucking good. You know, so it's a shame. You know, it's obviously a shame when this happens, whether you're good at wrestling or not. But it's an extra shame because Marty was a good fucking wrestler at one point. You know, but now he's out of his goddamn mind.
Do you think he was already crazy, or he went crazy because he didn't get the success that Shawn Michaels
I think if you, for the past 30 years, if your name is synonymous with failure, like the very mention of your name, and Marty Jannetty is his government name.
Well, now he's known for being like murderers.
Well, now he's known for just wilding out on social media like all the time and just, you know, being crazy. But anyway, yeah. So yes, he does still wrestle occasionally. He'll be wrestling probably at some, you know, bingo hall somewhere, and it's just sad.
Yeah. I was watching. Me and Sam were watching whatever wrestling thing was on before NBA the other day. A something.
AEW.
AEW, yeah. And I was like, man, some of these dudes look fucking old. Like,
yeah, well, I mean, you know, AEW is a brand new company, so when they kind of came online, they basically hired Chris Jericho.
Yes, exactly. Then that's who. Okay, I was trying to remember the name. I was like, Chris Jericho still wrestles, and then they were like. God, who's the fucking Smashing Pumpkins dude?
Billy Corgan.
And they're like, all right, this is the voice of Billy Corgan talking about Chris Jericho. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I had no clue. I was not tuned into any of this.
Billy Corgan is now the president of the National Wrestling Alliance.
I didn't know that.
He bought NWA, and now he's the president. And I went to one of their shows in Atlanta back in December, and it was fucking awesome.
I bet it is. He's a showman. I hear those Smashing Pumpkin shows in the 90s were incredible.
Well,
like,
what's
he probably
funny
knows how to put on a good shindig.
What's funny now is, you know, I saw the NWA show in Atlanta, and Billy Corgan looks like he is 12 years old, man. He is beaming, smiling ear to ear and shit. He's in the wrestling world, he's known as William Patrick Corgan, the president of the company, you know.
Man.
So he's like a character, like he's like Vince McMahon sort of, but like, you know, good, I guess. And you know, he like during commercial breaks would come out and just be like, I want to thank you guys so much. This has always been my dream. I'm so happy and blah blah blah. And then if you go watch him playing with Smashing Pumpkins, it looks like he's in detention. He's so fucking pissy about being
angriest music.
Yeah,
well, it's because he probably grew up getting called a fucking loser for still being into wrestling. So he's like, I'm gonna take this anger and put it into my music. Then wrestling, it became okay for adults to like wrestling, and it's like, oh shit, I can be into this. Well, I have millions of dollars now.
Dude, well, it's so funny because when he bought the NWA, everybody's just like, what an idiot. Why are you buying this? And now he's like it's such a good show.
Seems to be doing well.
It's a great show. Yeah, so anyway, long story short, Marty still wrestles. The unidentified man who Jannetty initially accused of trying to assault him behind a bowling alley when he was 13 was, quote, never found. This was the first time the Columbus, Georgia native made a, quote, man disappear. So... And that was what he said in the thing. The opening line was like, the first time I made a guy disappear.
That's what I remember. I rember reading that, and I remember being like, I remember laughing for quite a minute. Quite a long time.
So this is from his post that he just put up. All major news outlets worldwide jumped on this story, Jannetty wrote on Tuesday. It got so hot I had to drop it. When my Columbus, Georgia Police Department got involved, I knew I had to drop it. Because they opened up an investigation.
Not even federal, they're just the local cops just knocked on us. They're like, hey man, did you kill somebody?
Jannetty claims the ongoing police investigation had him red flagged by the TSA and ultimately resulted in him being pulled out of line while waiting for a flight from Atlanta to Boston. Quote, my TSA security brother, mostly laughing and getting autographs and pics, kept saying, we sorry, yo. We have to. This is a 6-year-old white man.
Yeah.
We sorry, yo. We have to.
I wonder what impression he's doing of an Atlanta airport security.
No, this is how he talks. He speaks like his...
I thought he was being racist.
No,
he was doing an impression of a TSA agent.
No, this is...
And you've traveled as much as me.
When he posts, he always posts in like this kind of like weird sort of like slang where you're just like...
Okay, that makes sense.
What are you doing here? We sorry, yo. We have to. You're red flag. You be fine, though. We got your back, brother. And they did. Jannetty's lengthy post continued. The former Intercontinental and Tag Team Champion admitted that he should have filled in the cops with the storyline prior to going public with it. But, quote, that ain't how I do it, brother, he said. I mean, I wanted to call the good people at the Columbus Police Department and tell them, nah, don't waste taxpayer money nor your valuable time. It was just a wrestling storyline, Jannetty continued, adding
taxes that he definitely pays all the time.
Continuing, adding that his brother Gino convinced him to stay quiet. Jannetty claims the storyline was intended to culminate in a wrestling match with a former corrections officer who left the field as a disgruntled worker.
Oh my God.
Quote, he was to redeem himself by serving justice on me to earn back his stripes, Jannetty wrote, but in a match stipulated with, if he wins, he takes me in peace. If I win, he leaves me alone in peace. But sadly, now we are not going to get to do that storyline.
Man, that is fucking incredible. That's just everything from the man, from the former CO.
Yeah. Well, you know what's funny? I've said this before on the show. I've wanted for years to have a storyline. This is my idea for a tag team. Would be two guys who are on probation, and their work release is wrestling. That's their job. So they get led to the ring by their parole officer,
and then they start fighting their parole officer.
Well, no. The parole officer's like their manager, right?
Okay,
and then, so they come to the ring. They come to the ring like in chains and shit, and he unlocks them so they can go fight. It's their work release, and then when they're done, they have to get handcuffed back up and led back to the Justice Department and shit. And but their whole thing is like positivity and like rehabilitation. So their names are Doing My Best and Trying to Change.
They're gonna be a real hit. They're gonna,
dude. People would lose their goddamn minds, especially some of the indie shows that I go to around here. Man, they'd be the biggest faces.
They would
in the
see
company.
Themselves.
Absolutely, my God.
I see myself in Trying to Change.
Trying to change, dude. Doing my best.
Aren't we all just doing my best? Aren't we all?
A message-seeking comment from Columbus Police was not immediately returned early Wednesday, but an investigation first launched after Jannetty's purported confession is, quote, still open, a department official told TMZ Sports Tuesday. Jannetty ended his Facebook post with the following, because that was where the story ended, but I actually found the Facebook post, and it's the last...
He follows up, I imagine.
The last part is so amazing. So part of the original post was he was like being really harsh about his Jamaican wife, Winnie. He was just like, man, those Jamaican girls piss me off, you know, because his wife is Jamaican. So that's what you need to know for this. This is how he ends his Facebook post. Again, sorry, Winnie. Never meant for this shit to get crazy like this. You know I got mad love for you. It's just the CTE acts up, and I don't think straight. Plus,
sorry, baby, you know how the CTE goes. Makes me talk like a 90s New York street gangster.
Oh, wait till you hear this. I don't think straight. Plus, I'm insane in the membrane.
I almost just did a Def Jam lap around the bedroom.
It's his. I'm insane in the membrane. I love that you had just finished saying it's like he's a 90s street guy. And then he dropped a Cypress Hill reference from 1995.
Oh my God.
I'm insane in the membrane. And then there's a PS here. There's a postscript. PS. And like I said, he had just tried to exonerate himself from confessing to this murder. P.S. There is some truth in the original story. No!
Well, it's because, look, man, this is the most attention he's probably gotten in any type of light aside from that guy sucked, right?
Yeah.
And wow. I don't know when were they like active, like early 90s?
Early 90s, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So this is the most anybody has talked to him in probably 30 years.
Yeah, he's been because we did a Patreon episode about Royal Rumble 1993. And that was right after him and Shawn broke up. And I think he had the Intercontinental... I think he won the Intercontinental Championship at the Royal Rumble. And he was fired by WrestleMania like 2 months later. He was gone. Oh. And then I think he had one match in like 2000... I'm going to say like 2006 or something. Right around when Shawn was like kind of on his way out. But other than that, yeah, he's been off TV since the early 90s.
So you know what? It probably... like just from a showbiz point of view,
yeah,
like, because if he got fired 2 months after winning a championship. That means he was probably just a big shithead. So you got these two dudes, both of them are talented.
And Sean is a huge shithead at the time, especially. That tells you everything. It's like Vince McMahon gave Sean the moon, you know?
Yeah.
Even though he was a crazy junky asshole.
Hell yeah. He was like Alice in Chains in wrestling.
Yeah.
But that's exciting. That rules. That's good TV.
Oh, yeah.
Like the other guy's just a dick. Like just to be a dick and makes up stories about killing people at bowling alleys.
Yeah.
Like
Shawn Michaels, this is how much of a dickhead Shawn Michaels was. Shawn Michaels fake retired because he didn't want Bret Hart to beat him in a fake wrestling match on TV. He hated Bret Hart and just didn't want to work with him, so he went up there and said that he had lost his smile and quote unquote retired, and then came back like a month later.
That's really funny, actually.
Fucking ass. So P.S. There is some truth in the original story. That's how you add on, and it seems all true. ... I was 13, buying weed from a gay man. And then in parentheses, and by the way, I loves all my gay people. I just don't float my boat on that side of the river. Loves y'all, though.
See, he could have even spun it. Be like, see, I don't dislike gay people, but this guy was trying to molest me, so I murdered him. And as a 13-year-old, I murdered him and took his body and threw it into a river.
He was 13 when this happened. I'm like, I couldn't throw a guy in a river now.
No, dude.
I definitely couldn't have done it when I was 13. Loves y'all, though. In his car in front of the bowling alley, we both worked out. And because...
When he was 13... Oh, this was the 60s, I guess.
Yeah, so like early 70s.
Yeah, you could still have a job at 12.
And because a couple other of my teen friends went for the hustle, he'd pay them $40 to BJ him. He might have assumed I would too. So in other words, the bag of weed for free. He subtly reached over to touch me down there, and I said, nah, let's go back to work. We got out and went back to work and remained friends. He never touched my dick and balls again, so we was good.
So that's a little different than murdering him and throwing him into a river. Having a lifelong friendship with him over a subtle misunderstanding. That's a little different.
Hey, baby. He's insane in the membrane, lest we forget.